When Brenda left me for Rex, our trophy-obsessed neighbor, she called me beige and he mocked me as a loser who would never win anything. Their betrayal burned, but it ignited something cold inside me. So I crafted a meticulous plan. Secretly, master every absurd local competition Rex entered, from chili cook-offs to synchronized snow shoveling, and systematically crush his entire identity. I would destroy what they loved most, winning. The Citizen of the Year award ceremony buzzes with anticipation. Crystal champagne flutes clink as the upper crust of our suburban community mingles in their finest attire. I adjust my borrowed tuxedo, feeling out of place among the designer suits. Rex Thunderman stands near the stage, arm possessively wrapped around Brenda's waist. My wife. No, my ex-wife. His muscles strain against his custom tuxedo as he laughs too loudly at something the mayor says. Brenda smiles mechanically, her hand resting on her slightly swollen belly. I watch them from across the room, keeping to the shadows. 6 months ago, I couldn't have imagined being here. I was Gary the accountant, reliable Gary, boring Gary, beige Gary. The MC taps the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our most prestigious award of the evening. Rex straightens his posture, clearly expecting his name to be called. He's been Citizen of the Year 3 years running. His garage wall is dedicated to this particular trophy. This year we had an unprecedented situation, the MC continues. A write-in candidate who received overwhelming community support. Rex's smile falters slightly. Brenda's eyes dart nervously around the room. The committee investigated this nominee and discovered that through various community personas, this individual has contributed more to local events than anyone in county history. The confusion in the room is palpable. I take a small sip of water to hide my smile. This year's Citizen of the Year is Gary Williams. I rise from my seat, ignoring the gasps and whispers. Walking toward the stage feels like floating. The lights are bright, but not as bright as the rage in Rex's eyes or the shock on Brenda's face. I grasp the golden trophy, larger and more ornate than any in Rex's collection. My final prize. This award, I say into the microphone, my voice steadier than it's been in months, is dedicated to the quiet underdogs and the surprising joy of mastering truly ridiculous things. The crowd applauds politely, still confused, but I'm not speaking to them. I'm speaking to the couple in the front row whose world is collapsing in real time. Looking back, I couldn't have scripted their reactions better. Brenda's champagne. Glass slips from her fingers, shattering against the hardwood floor. Rex's face contorts with dawning recognition as pieces click into place. You, he mouths, half rising from his seat. 2 committee members place restraining hands on his shoulders, misinterpreting his movement as excitement. I lock eyes with Brenda. 6 months of calculated revenge crystallized in this perfect moment. I descend from the stage, trophy in hand, and deliberately pass their table. Leaning close to Brenda's ear, I whisper words only she can hear. You called me beige. The room erupts into chaos behind me as I walk calmly toward the exit. Rex's shouts echo off the vaulted ceiling. It was him, all along. El Fantasma, the Gnome Ranger, the Avian Architect. It was all him. People stare at him like he's having a breakdown, which in fairness, he is. I step into the cool night air, savoring the weight of the trophy in my hand. The final piece in my collection, the culmination of my revenge. 3 weeks earlier, a masked competitor known only as El Fantasma Picante had dominated the county chili cook-off. I can still see Rex's face as the judges announced his Inferno. Fury Chili had placed second for the first time in 5 years. I hadn't known then how addictive winning would become, how each victory would fuel my hunger for the next. After the chili competition came the synchronized snow shoveling championship, where the Blizzard Wizard and his sidekick, Ice Chip Jr., performed a routine so technically complex it left Rex with a pulled hamstring. Then the lawn ornament showcase, where the Gnome Ranger presented a diorama of hundreds of gnomes reenacting the Battle of Cannae, with Hannibal's gnomes annihilating the Roman gnomes. The metaphor wasn't subtle, but the judges called it inspired. With each victory, Rex became more unhinged, more obsessive, his entire identity unraveling contest by contest. I think about the night it all began, standing alone in my empty house after Brenda left. The hollow feeling in my chest as I watched them through my kitchen window, celebrating their new life together. Rex popping champagne on their deck, Brenda laughing as he flexed his biceps for her. "You're just so beige, Gary," she had said while packing her clothes. "Rex is a winner. You've never won anything exciting in your life." He had stood in my doorway, arm around her waist. "Some guys just aren't built for the winner's circle, buddy. Stick to your spreadsheets." I never told them how those words crystallized something inside me, how the pain hardened into purpose. My phone buzzes with a text from my nephew. "Did you do it?" I smile, typing back, "Trophy acquired, mission complete." He sends a series of celebratory emojis. My unexpected ally. The day he discovered my revenge planning board was the day Ice Chip Jr. was born. Now, standing in the parking lot with the ultimate trophy, I feel strangely hollow. The revenge I've methodically executed for 6 months is complete. Rex is destroyed. Brenda is collateral damage. I should feel triumphant. Instead, I feel empty. What comes after revenge? The community center doors burst open. Brenda stumbles out, mascara streaking down her cheeks. "Gary, wait!" I consider driving away, but curiosity wins out. I turn to face my ex-wife, trophy glinting under the parking lot lights. "Was it worth it?" she asks, voice breaking. "Destroying him? Destroying us?" I look at Brenda, at the woman I once loved enough to build a life around, the woman who discarded that life for something shinier, more impressive. "I didn't destroy anything," I say calmly. "I just won." 6 months earlier, I was Gary the accountant, reliable Gary, predictable Gary, the man who could calculate your taxes to the penny but couldn't calculate the distance growing between himself and his wife. I stand in our kitchen chopping vegetables for dinner while Brenda applies lipstick. In the hallway mirror, date night, our weekly attempt to keep the marriage spark alive. "Do we have to go to the Hendersons again?" Brenda sighs, checking her reflection. "Their dinner parties are so boring." "We promised," I remind her. "Besides, Greg just got promoted. We should celebrate with them." Brenda makes a non-committal sound. 15 years together, and I can read her moods like balance sheets. She's restless, dissatisfied. I should have known then what was coming. The signs were there in the increasing silences, the distracted nods when I spoke, the separate activities that once were shared. The Hendersons live 4 houses down. Their home is similar to ours, another cookie-cutter colonial in our manicured neighborhood. As we walk, I notice Rex Thunderman in his driveway, polishing a sports car that costs more than my annual salary. "Hey neighbors," he calls, biceps straining against his tight t-shirt. "Looking good, Brenda." My wife straightens imperceptibly, her stride shifting from walk to sway. "Thanks, Rex. New car?" "Just a weekend toy," he grins. "You should let me take you for a spin sometime." I nod politely, hating the way his eyes linger on Brenda. Rex moved in 3 months ago and already has the neighborhood wrapped around his finger. Former college athlete, successful businessman, local competition champion. His garage wall is lined with trophies from every ridiculous contest our county offers. The dinner party is predictably dull until Rex arrives, uninvited, bearing an expensive bottle of wine and his trophy from the strongman competition. "Hope you don't mind me crashing," he announces, though nobody believes he cares if they mind. Greg Henderson practically salivates over the trophy. "You beat Mitch Donovan? He's won 5 years straight." Rex launches into the story, commanding the room. I watch my wife watching him, the slight flush on her cheeks, the attentive tilt of her head, the way she laughs too hard at his jokes. Looking back, I should have confronted her that night. Instead, I stayed silent. Finished my wine, drove us home, pretended not to notice when she checked her phone before bed. 2 weeks later, I'm working late. Tax season, the busiest time for an accountant. My phone chimes with a text from our neighbor, Mrs. Peterson. Thought you should know Brenda and that muscle man neighbor just left together with suitcases. It didn't look like a vacation, dear. The drive home takes 20 minutes. It feels like 20 years. Our bedroom closet is half empty. Brenda's jewelry box gone. No note. I walk numbly next door and ring the bell. Rex answers, shirtless and smirking. Hey, buddy. Awkward timing. Brenda appears behind him wearing lounge clothes like she already lives there. Her expression is a mix of guilt and defiance. I was going to call you, she says. I just couldn't do it anymore, Gary. Do what? My voice sounds distant. Someone else's voice. Pretend to be happy. Pretend to be satisfied with our life. She gestures vaguely toward Rex's trophy wall, visible through the doorway. Rex lives. You just exist. You're just so beige, Gary, she continues, each word a carefully placed knife. Rex is a winner. You've never won anything exciting in your life. Rex wraps a possessive arm around her waist. Some guys just aren't built for the winner's circle, buddy. Stick to your spreadsheets. I didn't know until that moment how completely words could hollow a person out, how 11 years of marriage could dissolve in an exchange shorter than a fast food order. I walk home mechanically. Look up divorce, attorneys. Cry once, briefly, into a throw pillow Brenda picked out, then shut down completely. The neighborhood's pity is worse than the betrayal. Mrs. Peterson bringing casseroles. Greg Henderson awkwardly inviting me to poker nights. The careful way people ask about the situation without saying her name. I start working longer hours, avoiding windows where I might see them together. But the neighborhood is small. Unavoidable collisions occur. Brenda and Rex at the grocery store, filling one cart together. Rex mowing his lawn shirtless while Brenda sunbathes on their deck. The housewarming party they throw, inviting everyone except me. I become a ghost in my own neighborhood. The sad ex-husband, the cautionary tale. Until the night I find myself staring at a flyer for the county fair stuck to my refrigerator. The competitions listed in neat columns. Chili cook-off. Garden display competition. Birdhouse building contest. Holiday light fight. Rex's name appears as defending champion for most of them. I look across our yards through my kitchen window. Rex is displaying his newest trophy to dinner guests on their deck. Brenda hangs on his arm, laughing at something. He says, their happiness feels like sandpaper on an open wound. I think about his smug face, about Brenda's dismissal, about the word beige. I tear the competition flyer from the fridge and spread it on my kitchen table. Take a red marker and circle the chili cook-off 3 weeks away, then the garden display, then the birdhouse contest. I spend the night researching past winners, competition rules, judges' preferences. I approach it like a tax audit, methodical and thorough. By morning, the hollow feeling is replaced by something else, something cold and purposeful. If Rex's entire identity is built on these ridiculous victories, then the path forward is clear. I will destroy the foundation of who he is, brick by brick, trophy by trophy. I knew nothing about cooking competition-grade chili, but I knew someone who did. Hector Ramirez, a client whose restaurant I'd saved from bankruptcy during an IRS audit. He owed me. You want to beat Rex Thunderman at the chili cook-off? Hector laughs when I explain my request. Nobody beats Rex. He's won 5 years straight. Nobody has beaten him yet, I correct. I need your help. Something in my expression makes Hector's laughter fade. This is personal, eh? I nod once. Then we make the best damn chili this county has ever tasted, and we make sure nobody knows it's you. For 3 weeks, we experiment in his restaurant kitchen after hours, testing pepper combinations, adjusting spice levels, timing the slow cook process to the minute. I create a persona, El Fantasma Picante, the spicy ghost, complete with a luchador mask and backstory as a traveling chef from New Mexico. The day of the competition arrives. I set up my booth at the far end from Rex's elaborate Inferno Fury display. My plain table with a single pot draws little attention until the judges arrive. They taste Rex's chili first, nod appreciatively. Make notes. They're moving alphabetically, so El Fantasma is last. I watch Rex's confident smirk, the way Brenda stands proudly beside him. The other competitors' resigned expressions, knowing they're competing for second place. Not today. When the judges reach my table, I ladle my creation. The quiet burn of untold sorrows, I call it, my voice disguised behind my mask. The head judge takes a spoonful. His eyes widen. He takes another. The other judges gather, commenting in low, excited voices. An hour later, the results are announced. First place with the most innovative and complex flavor profile in competition history, El Fantasma Picante. Rex's face contorts in disbelief. Brenda's mouth opens slightly. The crowd murmurs in surprise. As I accept my trophy, I lock eyes, with Rex through my mask. He doesn't recognize me, but he knows he's been beaten. And this is just the beginning. The chili trophy sits on my kitchen counter, gleaming under the fluorescent lights. My first victory. The rush still lingers in my bloodstream. I've never experienced anything like the moment they announced El Fantasma Picante as the winner. Never felt so alive. Rex's face is burned into my memory. The slack-jawed disbelief. The angry flush creeping up his neck. The tremor in his hand as he accepted the second-place ribbon. Participation award. The irony is delicious. I couldn't sleep after the competition. Adrenaline kept me wired until dawn. Instead, I created a planning board in my home office. Competition, schedules, entry requirements, Rex's past performances analyzed for weaknesses. Already I'm plotting my next victory. But I need more disguises, more personas. Brenda studied El Fantasma too intensely, her eyes lingering on mine through the mask. She might start connecting dots. The doorbell rings, interrupting my planning. It's my nephew, Jason, with a stack of mail that was delivered to his mother's house by mistake. "Hey, Uncle Gary," he says, stepping inside, then freezes as he spots my planning board. "What is all this?" I hesitate, considering a lie. But something in Jason's expression says he's already halfway to the truth. "You were El Fantasma," he whispers. "At the chili contest. You beat Rex." I nod once. A slow grin spreads across his face. That's the coolest thing I've ever heard. What's next? I should tell him to forget what he saw, to leave. Instead, I find myself explaining everything. The betrayal, the humiliation, the plan for systematic revenge. When I finish, Jason's eyes are bright with excitement. Let me help. I never intended to have an accomplice, but having someone who understands, who sees the genius rather than the pettiness, feels unexpectedly validating. The garden display. Competition is next month, I tell him. Then the synchronized snow shoveling championship in December. Snow shoveling? Jason laughs. That's a real contest? Welcome to suburban warfare, I say. Every competition is another battlefield. Looking back, bringing Jason in was the best strategic decision I made. His youthful enthusiasm balanced my methodical planning. Plus, he was already an actor in community theater. He understood personas. For the garden display competition, I transform into the Gnome Ranger. I purchase hundreds of garden gnomes from every hardware store in a 50-mile radius. Jason helps me arrange them in my backyard, recreating the Battle of Cannae where Hannibal's forces annihilated the Romans. The gnomes representing Hannibal's army surround and destroy the Roman gnomes. The metaphor isn't subtle, but I'm beyond subtlety. This is psychological warfare disguised as suburban competition. On the day of judging, Rex presents his classical Roman garden. Brenda stands beside him, explaining the historical accuracy of their design to the judges. Her eyes keep drifting to my yard, where my gnome battlefield draws increasingly large crowds. The Gnome Ranger has created something truly unique, the head judge announces. The technical precision with which these figures are arranged to recreate historical military formations is remarkable. I accept my trophy wearing a wide-brimmed hat and false beard. Rex storms off, pulling Brenda behind him. I watch them argue in their driveway as I pack up my gnomes. 2 competitions, 2 victories. The neighborhood buzzes with gossip about these mysterious competitors defeating Rex. His reputation as unbeatable is crumbling. I wasn't prepared for how much I would enjoy the performance aspects, the disguises, the backstories. Playing characters so different from reliable, predictable Gary. For the first time, I understand why actors become addicted to the stage. Snow falls early that year. By December, the neighborhood is blanketed in white, perfect for the synchronized snow shoveling championship. "This is the most ridiculous competition I've ever heard of," Jason says as we practice in my backyard. "That's the point," I explain. "These contests aren't about skill. They're about Rex's ego. Each one he loses chips away at his identity." We develop our routine as the Blizzard Wizard and Ice Chip Jr. Practice for weeks, incorporating elements no sane person would include in snow removal. Pyrotechnics, dance moves, a soundtrack mixing Vivaldi's Winter with humpback whale songs. The championship is held in the community center parking lot. 8 teams compete, but everyone knows it's between us and Rex and Brenda, the defending champions. Rex and Brenda perform a technically proficient routine, synchronized movements, perfect timing. The crowd applauds politely. Then the Blizzard Wizard and Ice Chip Jr. take the field. From the first twirl of our sparkler-enhanced shovels, the audience is captivated. When the whale songs begin, confused, laughter ripples through the crowd. By the finale, where Jason performs a snow angel while I create a perfect circle of shoveled snow around him, the judges are slack-jawed. Rex tries to copy one of our moves during the final head-to-head round. Pulls a hamstring, collapses onto the snow. Brenda helps him limp off the field as the judges declare us the winners. Victory number 3. Sweet as the first. Later that night, I spot Brenda alone on their porch. Rex's car is gone. She's smoking, something she quit when they got together. I watch her from my darkened living room. She looks tired, drawn, not like someone on the winning side of life. I didn't know then how deeply my revenge was affecting them both, how Rex's losses were creating fissures in their relationship. The doorbell rings, pulling me from my thoughts. It's Jason, grinning widely. "Check this out," he says, holding up his phone. "Someone posted a video of our routine online. It's going viral. People are trying to figure out who the Blizzard Wizard is." Fame was never part of the plan. But as I scroll through comments praising our creativity, I feel a new kind of power. Not just the satisfaction of defeating Rex, but the joy of creating something that makes people smile. By January, the neighborhood is obsessed with the mysterious competitors who keep defeating Rex Thunderman. Theories abound. Some believe it's a group of performance artists making a statement. Others think it's Rex's former competitors joining forces against him. No one suspects Gary the accountant. Beige Gary. Boring Gary. For the competitive birdhouse building contest, I become the avian architect. I spend hundreds of hours crafting a multi-story birdhouse condominium with working miniature elevators, solar panels, and a tiny bird-sized jacuzzi. The judges are mesmerized. "We've never seen such attention to detail," they gush. "The engineering alone is incredible. Rex's rustic log cabin birdhouse looks like a child's project in comparison. He doesn't even stay for the awards ceremony." Brenda accepts his participation ribbon, her smile strained. Victory number 4. But something is changing. The rush feels different. It's not just about defeating Rex anymore. It's about the creations, themselves, the performances, the personas I've developed. For the first time in my life, I'm winning. Not just competitions, but admirers, fans. The mysterious competitors are becoming local celebrities. The themed pie bake-off arrives in February. I enter as Pierre de la Crème Anglaise, complete with a fake French accent and waxed mustache. My 7-layer bittersweet berry pie of betrayal moves the judges to tears and earns me another first place. That night, I add the trophy to my growing collection. 5 victories, 5 humiliations for Rex. But as I polish each trophy, I realize something unexpected. The revenge that started as a way to hurt Rex has become something else. Something more. A rebirth. A transformation from beige Gary into someone colorful, exciting, admired. I'm no longer just destroying Rex's identity. I'm discovering my own. By mid-February, Rex is coming undone. His competition calendar, once proudly displayed in their front window, has been taken down. Neighbors whisper about his increasingly erratic behavior. His lawn, usually manicured to perfection, grows shaggy around the edges. I observe these changes from my kitchen window while planning my next attack. The holiday light fight, Rex's signature event. The trophy he values above all others. We need to go nuclear on this one, Jason says, scrolling through photos of past winners. Rex has won 3 years running. His display is actually good. I nod, mind already calculating logistics. Then we'll be better. We'll be unforgettable. When I started this revenge journey, I never imagined how much I would invest. Financially, emotionally, the thousands of dollars spent on materials, the countless hours of planning and execution, the way revenge would consume my thoughts, my dreams. This is no longer just about hurting Rex. It's about proving something to myself, to Brenda, to everyone who pitied me. I place bulk orders for lights, thousands of them. Inflatables, strobes, lasers, anything that illuminates, blinks, or moves. I hire an electrician to install additional power lines to my property. The man shoots me concerned glances as I outline my vision. This might cause issues with the power grid, he warns. That's a risk I'm willing to take, I reply. Jason and I spend 2 weeks transforming my yard and house into a monument to excess. A 20-foot inflatable Rudolph with a strobe light. Nose dominates the front lawn. Every inch of the house is covered in mismatched, seizure-inducing lights flashing to a death metal version of Jingle Bells. The effect is chaotic, blinding, borderline disturbing. Nothing like Rex's tasteful, synchronized light show. On judging night, crowds gather on our street. Children squeal in delight at my monstrous display. Parents shield their eyes. Rex stands in front of his house, arms crossed, watching as the judges approach my property first. His display, with its coordinated colors and elegant animations, seems quaint in comparison to my assault on good taste. This is certainly impactful, the head judge says, squinting against the glare. I've never seen anything quite like it. I accept these words as the compliment they aren't. Halfway through the judging, there's a loud pop, then darkness. My display has caused a neighborhood power outage. I expect disqualification. Instead, the judges declare my unforgettable impact the winner before the power company even arrives. Rex's display, they note, couldn't even be seen after my lights went out. A technicality, but a victory nonetheless. Trophy number 6. The most satisfying yet. As the crowds disperse, I hide behind my monstrous Rudolph, eavesdropping on Brenda and Rex arguing on their driveway. Someone's targeting me, Rex hisses. These aren't coincidences. You sound paranoid, Brenda sighs. It's just competitions. They don't matter. They matter to me, he snaps. I'm a winner. I've always been a winner. Maybe that's the problem, she says quietly. Maybe we focus too much on winning. Her hand rests protectively over her stomach, a gesture that stops me cold. She's pregnant. The baby bump is visible even under her winter coat. I retreat into my house, conflicted. The pregnancy complicates things, adds a dimension I hadn't calculated. A child, innocent, uninvolved. In the morning, Jason comes over with donuts and new competition ideas. He stops when he sees my expression. What's wrong? We were amazing last night. Brenda's pregnant, I say flatly. Jason whistles. Oh, plot twist, is it yours? Timing says no, I answer, though the question has tortured me all night. It's Rex's. So what? That changes nothing. Jason bites into a donut. He's still the guy who stole your wife, still the guy who humiliated you. He's right. The pregnancy doesn't erase Rex's actions, doesn't diminish what they did to me. Still, a new uneasiness settles in my stomach. A question of how far is too far. I push these thoughts aside as I prepare for my next competition, the Maplewood Master Baker Challenge. My torte of desolation will feature dark chocolate layers representing the stages of grief, with a mirror glaze that forces the eater to confront their reflection. The day before the competition, I'm shopping for ingredients when I overhear a conversation in the next aisle. Two women from the neighborhood. Did you hear about Rex Thunderman? Apparently he's been falsifying competition entries for years. No way, how? Bribing judges, intimidating competitors. Janice's husband is on the Holiday Light Committee. Says Rex offered him $500 to vote against that crazy light display across the street. I freeze, hand hovering over a bottle of vanilla extract. Rex has been cheating? All his victories built on fraud? Looking back, I shouldn't have been surprised. Men like Rex don't achieve success through hard work. They take shortcuts, bend rules, bully their way to the top. I abandon my shopping, cart and drive straight to the community center, ask for Barbara Winters, head of the competitions committee, show her my accountant credentials. I've heard rumors of competition fraud, I say carefully. As a concerned citizen, I think the committee should investigate. Barbara's eyes narrow. We take the integrity of our competitions very seriously, Mr. Williams. Do you have specific concerns? I don't name Rex directly. Don't have to. Just plant the seed. Perhaps an audit of judging patterns over the past 5 years? Unusual voting? Conflicts of interest? She nods slowly. We've had some concerns already. This might be the push we needed to launch a formal investigation. I leave feeling vindicated. My revenge isn't just justified, it's righteous. Rex isn't just a wife stealer, he's a fraud. His entire winning identity built on lies. My determination hardens. No more questions. No more doubts. Rex Thunderman will lose everything, piece by piece. The next competition arrives, the Valentine's Day Dance Championship. Rex and Brenda's specialty. They were dance partners before they were romantic partners. This is their territory. I convince my elderly neighbor, Mrs. Peterson, to be my partner. A former ballroom dancer in her youth. We practice for weeks, developing a routine that's elegant without being flashy. You move well for an accountant, Mrs. Peterson observes during one rehearsal. I contain multitudes, I reply, surprising myself with the confidence in my voice. 6 months ago I was Beige Gary, the man defined by what he wasn't. Now I am El Fantasma, the Gnome Ranger, the Avian Architect, Pierre de la Crème Anglaise. I am Technicolor, multifaceted, winning. The Valentine's Dance Championship approaches, the final competition before the Citizen of the Year ceremony, the last piece in my revenge puzzle. I watch Rex and Brenda practicing through their living room window. He moves with precision but seems distracted, keeps checking his phone. Brenda looks tired, her pregnancy now clearly visible. For a moment, a twinge of something like pity flickers in my chest. I squash it immediately. They made their choices. Now they'll live with the consequences. The night before the competition, my doorbell rings. I open it to find Brenda standing on my porch, hands shoved into her coat pockets. Can we talk? She asks, voice hollow. I step aside to let her in, mind racing. Has she figured out my disguises? Is this a confrontation? Brenda looks around at my living room, at the sparse furnishings that replaced our shared things, at the trophies displayed on the mantel. I know it's been you, she says without preamble. All the personas, all the competitions. I don't deny it. There's something satisfying about her finally knowing. Rex has become obsessed with beating you, she continues. He knows someone's targeting him. He's not sleeping. He's barely eating. She presses her hand to her stomach. I'm worried about what this stress is doing to the baby. Then she asks the unthinkable. I need you to throw the competition tomorrow. Let us win. For the baby's sake. The audacity takes my breath away. After everything, she wants mercy, Wants me to sacrifice my perfect revenge for their comfort. You want me to lose, I say flatly, because winning would hurt your feelings. I'm not asking for me, she insists. I'm asking for my child. His child, I correct. Brenda hesitates, looking at her feet. Actually, she says softly, the timing, it might be yours. The words hit like a physical blow. I close the door in her face without another word. Sleep eludes me that night. Brenda's words replay in an endless loop. The child might be mine. Might be. The uncertainty feels calculated, a desperate play to manipulate me. Typical Brenda, using emotions as leverage. I pace my bedroom, rehearsing dance steps mechanically. The Valentine's Day dance championship is hours away. My revenge plan hinges on this victory. One more humiliation before the final blow at the Citizen of the Year ceremony. But that child. A baby who never asked to be born into this mess. A baby who might share my DNA. When dawn breaks, I've made my decision. The plan continues. One doesn't abandon a 6-month revenge strategy because of a might be. I call Mrs. Peterson to confirm our final rehearsal. 6 hours until the competition. The community center is decorated with paper hearts and red streamers when we arrive. Couples in matching outfits practice in corners. Rex and Brenda warm up on the far side of the room. She looks exhausted. He looks obsessed. Mrs. Peterson squeezes my arm. Nervous, dear? Not anymore, I reply. I spent months being nervous, anxious, hurt. Those emotions have burned away, leaving something harder, more focused. Looking back, I could have chosen forgiveness. Could have moved on, found a new life, a new love. But that wasn't the man Brenda made me. The man who emerged from her betrayal was forged for revenge, not redemption. The competition begins. 3 couples perform before us. Standard routines, minimal creativity, low scores. Rex and Brenda are 4th. Their routine is technically ambitious, flashy, dramatic. But midway through, Rex stumbles slightly. A tiny misstep most wouldn't notice. But I do. And so do the judges. I see the panic flash across his face, the fear of another loss. Brenda recovers smoothly, compensating for his error. They finish to enthusiastic applause. Mrs. Peterson and I take the floor. Our routine is different. Simple but perfectly executed. Mrs. Peterson moves with surprising grace for her age. My accountant's precision serves me well in dancing, it turns out. When we finish, the crowd's reaction is respectful but reserved. We won't know scores until after the final dance-off. The judges announce the top 2 couples, Rex and Brenda, of course, and Mrs. Peterson and me. We'll compete head-to-head in a freestyle final round. As we prepare to retake the floor, I catch Brenda's desperate glance, the silent plea in her eyes. Her hand rests protectively over her belly. Rex steps close as we pass. Ready to lose, old man? He whispers. Something snaps inside me. Old man, as if age defines worth, as if his youth and muscles make him better, as if those things justified taking my wife. Mrs. Peterson and I take our positions. The music begins. We execute our routine flawlessly, each step precise, each turn perfectly timed, until the final sequence, the most complex turn. I deliberately miss a step, just enough to cost us crucial points. The judges confer, announce scores. Rex and Brenda win by 2 points. Rex celebrates wildly, pumping his fist, lifting Brenda in an awkward embrace that makes her wince. She stands quietly, watching me walk away, confusion in her eyes. I help Mrs. Peterson to her seat. We were better, she huffs. Yes, I agree. We were. I didn't throw the competition for Brenda, or for the baby. I threw it for myself. Because I realized something important. Rex's victories mean nothing to him unless someone witnesses his superiority. Giving him this win only makes my final revenge sweeter. The Citizen of the Year ceremony is 3 weeks away. Rex has won 3 years running. It's the crown jewel in his trophy collection. He won't win this year. The weeks pass in meticulous preparation. I compile documentation of my contributions to the community through my various personas. El Fantasma's chili recipe donated to the school fundraiser cookbook. The Gnome Ranger's display repurposed for the Children's Museum. The avian architect's birdhouses installed in the nature preserve. Each persona left a legacy beyond defeating Rex. Each became beloved in their own right. I avoid Rex and Brenda, focus solely on the endgame. The final move that will complete my transformation from victim to victor. 2 days before the ceremony, Barbara Winters calls me. Mr. Williams, something unusual has happened with the Citizen of the Year voting. My heart stutters. Has Rex bribed the committee again? You've received an unprecedented number of write-in votes, she continues. The committee investigated and discovered that through your various competition personas, you've contributed more to local events than anyone in county history. I remain silent, stunned that my plan worked so perfectly. Are you still there, Mr. Williams? Yes, I manage. I'm just surprised. So were we. Barbara chuckles. The ceremony is Saturday evening. We'll present the award around 8. Will you prepare an acceptance speech? I hang up and stare at my wall of trophies. This final victory isn't just about defeating Rex, it's about becoming someone new, someone who wins. The night of the ceremony arrives, bringing us full circle to where this story began. Me in a borrowed tuxedo, the golden trophy in my hands, Rex's rage, Brenda's shock. As I leave the building, trophy in hand, Brenda follows, me to the parking lot. I nominated you, she admits, as a write-in candidate. This revelation catches me off guard. Why? The committee was investigating competition fraud. Rex has been bribing judges for years. All his past trophies are suspect. She wraps her coat tighter around her swollen belly. I was wrong about you being beige, Gary. You're actually the most colorful person I've ever known. I didn't do this to win you back, I say flatly. I know. That's why you deserve to win everything else. The community center doors burst open. Rex storms out, face contorted with rage. You, he shouts. It was you all along. Several committee members follow him out, trying to calm him. One calls for security. El Fantasma, the Gnome Ranger, all of them, it was him. Rex continues, pointing at me. He's been targeting me, sabotaging me. Mr. Thunderman, please calm down, Barbara Winters says firmly. The only sabotage happening here was your own. Our investigation found multiple instances of you bribing judges and intimidating competitors. Rex's face drains of color. That's a lie. We have proof, another committee member adds. You're banned from future competitions. Rex lunges toward me. Security guards intercept him. As they escort him away, he continues shouting threats. Brenda doesn't follow him. She stands under the parking lot lights looking smaller than I've ever seen her. What happens now? She asks. I consider her question. What does happen after revenge? When the emptiness that fueled you is filled with something else. Now I go home, I say simply, with my trophy. I drive away, leaving Brenda in the parking lot. The trophy sits in my passenger seat, gleaming under streetlights. I expected to feel triumphant. Instead, I feel strangely hollow. Victory without purpose is just another kind of emptiness. As I pull into my driveway, I notice Jason sitting on my porch steps. He jumps up when I park, grinning widely. Dude, you actually did it. You destroyed him completely. I nod, clutching the trophy. Mission accomplished. So what's next? Jason asks. More competitions? New personas? For the first time in months, I don't have an answer. The revenge that consumed me is complete. The transformation is over. What happens after the villain is vanquished? What story comes next? Jason misreads my silence. He deserved it, you know. They both did. I look at my house, at the empty windows, at the solitary life I've built around destroying someone else's happiness. Maybe, I say finally. But I'm not sure. I did. 3 months pass, winter melts into spring. The neighborhood has largely forgotten the Rex Thunderman scandal, though his name occasionally surfaces in hushed conversations. Rex moved away 2 weeks after the Citizen of the Year ceremony, sold his house at a loss, left in the night without goodbyes. His trophy wall dismantled, his reputation shattered. I've settled into a new routine. Tax season keeps me busy professionally. As for my personas, some have been retired. Others make occasional appearances at community events. The avian architect now judges the birdhouse competition. El Fantasma's chili recipe was published in the local newspaper. I've become someone new. No longer beige Gary. No longer revenge-driven Gary. Something in between. My doorbell rings on, a Saturday morning in May. I open it to find Jason holding a flyer. County fair competitions just got announced, he says, excitement in his voice. I thought maybe El Fantasma could make a comeback, or we could create a new persona. I take the flyer, scanning the familiar events. I don't think so. That chapter's closed. Jason's enthusiasm deflates. Come on, it was fun. We were good at it. We were, I agree, but it served its purpose. He sighs dramatically. Fine, but if you change your mind, I have ideas for an epic sand sculpture character. After he leaves, I tack the flyer to my refrigerator anyway. Old habits. I didn't realize then that some endings are really beginnings in disguise. Some revenges have unexpected consequences. Some victories come with costs you never calculated. A week later, I'm judging the spring chili cook-off when Brenda appears at my judging table. Her baby was born in April, according to neighborhood gossip. Today she's alone, no stroller in sight. Hello, Gary, she says, eyes darting nervously. Could we talk after the competition? I nod once, then return to my judging. The taste of each chili reminds me of my debut as El Fantasma. How revenge began with spice and heat. Afterward, we sit on a bench near the community garden. Distance between us. 6 months of history stretching like a chasm. Rex left, she says eventually. I heard. Before the baby was born. Her hands twist in her lap. He said he couldn't be with a woman who destroyed his reputation, who chose his enemy over him. By nominating me for the award, I conclude. She nods. Among other things. I told him about his fraud, said he needed help, that winning had become an addiction for him. I absorbed this information silently. Rex abandoned his child, ran from accountability, true to character. I've been thinking a lot about what I did to you, Brenda continues. The things I said, how I left. I was wrong, cruel. I got caught up in Rex's winner persona and forgot what really matters. Looking back, I should have predicted this moment. The inevitable attempt at reconciliation once her chosen path collapsed. But I never planned for what comes after revenge. Never scripted this scene. Is the baby mine? I ask directly. She meets my eyes. DNA test says no, he's Rex's. His name is Daniel. An unexpected relief washes through me. No biological complications. No divided loyalties. Rex sends money but wants nothing to do with him, she adds. I'm on my own. I stand, ready to end this conversation. I'm sorry about your situation, but I'm not sure what it has to do with me. Brenda looks up, desperation in her eyes. We could try again. For real this time. I was wrong about you being beige. You're extraordinary, Gary. What you did, creating all those personas, winning all those competitions, it was brilliant. What I did was revenge, I correct her. Born from pain you caused. It wasn't brilliant. It was necessary. I didn't plan those words. They formed themselves, revealing a truth I hadn't fully acknowledged. My revenge wasn't just about hurting Rex. It was about healing myself. Becoming someone new through the transformation of pain into power. Brenda stands too, moving closer, People make mistakes, terrible ones. I made the worst mistake of my life walking away from you. But people can change. I've changed. For a moment I imagine it. Reconciliation, forgiveness, the simplicity of returning to a version of my old life. But I'm not the same Gary who loved her. That man died the night she left. The man standing here now was forged in rejection, tempered by revenge, and ultimately transformed by victory. Goodbye, Brenda, I say, turning away. Gary, please, she calls after me. Don't you want a family? A second chance? I pause, but don't look back. Some guys aren't built for second chances. I walk toward the judge's table where my colleagues are waiting. They call my name with genuine affection. The respect in their eyes is something I earned, not through revenge, but through the skills and creativity my revenge unleashed. Summer arrives. The county fair approaches. Despite my resistance, I find myself considering Jason's sand sculpture idea. Not for revenge this time, for the simple joy of creation, of performance, of excellence. One evening, as I mow my lawn, Brenda walks past with a stroller. Our eyes meet briefly, no words exchanged. Just acknowledgement of the lives we now lead. Separate. Redefined. That night, I remove the competition flyer from my refrigerator. Replace it with a calendar of community events where I've volunteered to help. Not compete. Contribute. I stand, in my kitchen, surrounded by the trophies of my revenge. They no longer represent victory over Rex. They mark the milestones of my transformation. From victim to victor. From beige to vibrant. From defined by others to self-defined. The following Sunday, I attend a neighborhood barbecue. Greg Henderson asks if I'll help coach his son's baseball team. Mrs. Peterson wants recipe tips for the pie contest. Barbara Winters invites me to join the community planning committee. I accept each invitation, step into each new role. No mask. Required. When a newcomer asks how I became so involved in the community, I simply smile. I discovered I had talents I never explored before. Sometimes life forces you to reinvent yourself. That evening, as I'm leaving, I spot Brenda at the edge of the gathering. She's talking to a man I don't recognize, laughing at something he says. The stroller beside her. Moving forward, as I have. I drive home to my quiet house, my calendar full of commitments, my future unwritten but mine to shape. 6 months ago, revenge consumed me, defined me. Today it's simply part of my origin story, the catalyst that forced me to discover who I really am, what I'm capable of. Rex took my wife, but inadvertently gave me myself in return. An uneven trade, but one I've come to appreciate. I park in my driveway and notice a garden gnome on my porch that wasn't there before. A small one holding a tiny trophy, a note attached in Jason's handwriting. The gnome ranger rides again. I place the gnome in my garden, but leave the competition to others. Some victories need to stand uncontested. Some stories end exactly when they should. Some guys aren't built for the winner's circle. Others create their own.